simple terms, it means just being real, right? Just being genuine. And for me, that person needs to be the same person, whether it's at work or it's at home or whosoever one is speaking with. That's what really, in a nutshell, it means for me. It's been a very long journey for me, right? Where I used to be this person who was different at work, different with different stakeholders, the category, the level, the experience, the rapport I have with them. I used to be a different person, essentially trying to be the person they want to meet and they want to speak with. But I really struggled with setting boundaries. So I could never say a no. I was the most non assertive person. And somewhere I realized that along the way, I was basically not real with anyone. When I say being authentic, it doesn't mean that I'm just brash and direct and say things, and that's not what I mean. I'm still fairly empathetic and sensitive and use my words, like I said, carefully. Um, but I say what needs to be said and I don't hold myself back. And I somewhere I think it started bothering me because the focus was not so much on the solutioning and the work that I enjoyed doing. It was being this person who was liked by everyone and liked by the clients that I work with. Um, but somewhere I think when I reflected on this, and that was the hard hitting moment when I realized the clients don't keep coming back to me for the solutions that I give them always, because that's something that they can get from anyone in the market really. Because initially it was all about I'll do what they want me to do, versus now where I consciously have made that decision that I will do what's best for the client, and I will give solutions or give advice, which is the right thing to do in the moment. Because somewhere it started getting to me, right? And now by speaking authentically, I'm able to set those boundaries without hurting anyone. So they still get me. And the biggest realization is that I don't need to be someone else, or I don't need to speak in a particular way, for people to love me or care for me. And there's none of that. I've dropped it. This is from a couple of years ago when I was sitting in front of this CEO. And this organization or this business was part of a larger Indian conglomerate, and things were run in a certain way. And the CEO, of course, brought in a lot of revenue, in fact, the highest revenue in the group. And he liked doing things in a certain way. We were on a journey where we were bringing about a lot of transformation and processes, etc. And at one point in time, when we were doing the talent reviews and the promotion conversations, we did recommend a few people, and that list did not include the people that he wanted to promote and put on a leadership journey. It was very easy in that moment to just agree with what he was recommending, considering the CHRO was aligned to what the CEO was saying. There was also a possibility, had we not done what he was hinting at or he preferred, to even lose that project or lose that business and that revenue, because it was a really large project. But I think learning from my past, I did make a conscious decision in that moment to have a very authentic conversation with the CEO. And again, I was not saying something which was out of ordinary. I strongly feel that it was just who I was being in that moment, and I was being authentic. And I did share why we are saying what we are saying and how it's going to benefit him, the business, the team, and the transformation that we are about to bring in that organization. And I felt, and of course there's a lot more to it, but I felt that one moment or that one conversation with the CEO really transformed the way he looked at the process and his relationship with us as a consulting team. So much so that he not only went ahead with the recommendations that we made, but he also came back with a lot more business, not just in that year, but even after that, whether it was processes or employer branding or whatever, because that trust was built. And in that moment, we moved from just being very transactional as being consultants to a CEO, to truly being a trusted partner, someone he sees as an advisor, and then he kept coming back. So that's another example that I can think of, where just one authentic conversation, I feel, changed everything. I'd like to share another example, a very, very recent example. So I did make a mention that I still struggle with instantly or in the moment being completely transparent or authentic with someone I look up to. right? Someone who's a mentor, coach, someone who's added, a lot, or someone who's had a huge impact on my life, right? I always second guess myself and think that no, this person knows better than me, so let me not speak up. But it's not always worked out. And if I were to reflect on the last 3 or 4 months, there have been times where, say, if I have co-facilitated a workshop with someone, this person and we have a great rapport. Otherwise, and there's a lot of respect and trust, between us. Having said that, when we delivered the workshop, there's something that I wanted to say which was not going right. We both knew that the flow was off. We were not in complete sync. We addressed that as well, but I still did not speak up because I thought maybe I have not done my bit. It happened in one workshop. It also happened in another workshop, and then just last month in February, when we were delivering another workshop together, I did make this conscious choice to have a conversation with this person and say, I feel, we're not in sync or we're not in flow because of so and so reason. And not only did it have an impact on the workshop that we were delivering or how the participants opened up in that workshop, but it also took our relationship to the next level, where there was just so much more respect, and he appreciated me speaking up so much. Like I said, it becomes second nature. It's a way of life. So there is no need, I don't feel the urge to be that person who's not being real or genuine, because like I said, it has enabled me to build such trusting relationships and such deep connections that I value that a lot more than being a people pleaser now. Um, so yeah, that's what it is for me.